Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Um, Selfie Simulator. I've been working on it forever. Even if a lot of that time I wasn't getting any work done. But I put it out today, and it can be kind of complicated. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do in it. So I thought I would come on here and show some of the features. What's up, Alex? Um, and so you guys can use this kind of as like a little tutorial on how to use the selfie simulator and and see all the different features in it. So first things first, you can take any bike. Um, However, I did not test on the Rabbit, so I don't know if every area is passable with the Rabbit. But I did test on the Panda, and well, I didn't test on the Baggy either. But like, why would you? What the heck is going on there? Just freaked out because I've been doing this too much. Anyway, I'll take the Fox Bat. I haven't taken the Fox Bat selfies in a while. I should actually change my outfit too, because I've been using the squirrel head for a while as well. But we've started now. So okay, start off and whoops. It's just normal, except for it gives you this little basic controls. R1 stops time. Time is now frozen, and L1 brings up the menu. So in the menu, there's 10 different scenes you can choose from, which are basically like different little mini tracks. And I kind of half-assed these menus here, so it's X to select tracks on the left side and square to select tracks on the right side, which doesn't even make sense with the buttons here. I was honestly I was being pretty lazy, but it works. So and there's also what? Oh, there's 12 different areas here, and I think that was maybe a few too many because I ran out of complexity, and some of them are not like super decorated. Definitely, in my opinion, the square ones are pretty much all better than the X ones because I kind of built them all, or at least like started them all, and then uh, those were just the ones that got attention first, so they got the most details and stuff before I started going back through and like these first few like don't really have a whole lot of detail stuff going on. Uptown I was able to add a few things to. It's okay. But so there's 12 different scenes here. Most of them take place in or above the main city. But there's a few at the end here, starting with random ruins that go outside of the city. So these last three are not all nature, but have more nature in them. Um, so let's go to one. Um, well, actually, the other thing, just from the main menu, you can go and look at the controls here, but it's a little daunting to look at because there are a lot of controls. But what I've done is this menu is accessible from the camera mode, and I'll go into that in a second. But you can go into this control menu while you're frozen in time. So if you freeze and you get a cool pose or something, but you forget what one of the buttons is, you can just hop into this. But that's only available from the camera mode. Um, and like I said, at all times, circle is going to reset you to whatever the last checkpoint was that you're at, and at all times, L1 is going to take you back to this main menu. Um, so those buttons are universal. So I'm gonna reset here. Pull his pose there. Of course, normally in trials you only have to decorate one side of the line. So a lot of these, like one side is going to have a lot more scenery than the other one because, that's just kind of how I was attacking it. But I did try and at least put some stuff if there was nothing on the other side so that you can get a 360-degree view. And I mean, most of the places you can get a 360-degree view. This one happens to have a lot more decoration than some of the other ones. So we're in camera mode now. I hit R1, I froze time, And when you freeze time, there's a slight delay because it kind of slows down first. So if you're holding a pose or something with the left stick, trials controls are all like normal. So if you're holding the pose with, or sorry, the right stick, and then you hit that R1 to freeze time, like keep holding the pose, or you will kind of start to lose it, and then you'll look kind of funky. Like if you were just watching the Red Link stream, they got ones where like the dude was all in kind of like weird poses, had his legs in like weird positions and stuff. Um, so in the camera mode, okay, now we're going to talk about features, which there's a lot of once you get into the camera mode here. So there's two main modes once you're frozen, and that's camera mode and spotlight mode. It's good if you pull back a little bit before you go into the spotlight mode, so that you can see the spotlight, because the spotlight's a little difficult to control. So pressing in R3, pressing in on the right stick, that brings up the spotlight, and now I have control of the spotlight. I can move it all around. Um, and and then also with the buttons, I can square button, I can change the color. There's a few different color presets. Uh, with the X button, I can turn it on and off basically. I don't think triangle does anything to it, no. And then both the spotlight and the camera have two different control states. And so you switch that with the left stick, L3. And so now I'm in the second control state where I can use the analog sticks to kind of control the range of the light. I think it's up and down is range, left and right is I forget what they call it, the cone angle, something like that. And then up and down on the left stick is intensity. So you have full control over the spotlight. You can make it kind of dim, which I like to do. I don't generally like it to be too powerful. But what I found was even in the camera mode, like we'll go back to camera mode here now. So now I'm back into camera mode. And in camera mode, I have it's square button, a whole bunch of different environment presets that you can scroll through with the square button. I think I said that. And then the X button, there's like camera filters. Let's get you can scroll through all the camera filters with the X button. And then and then with the Y, you can toggle on and off the depth of field. I wanted to give more depth of field control, but it wasn't working too well. So, and of course, like I was saying earlier, whenever you're in camera mode, R1 will bring up this control menu, so you can bring up the control menu. You can remind yourself of the controls here. Everything I just said is here on this menu. And then just R1 again, and you go back to your guy. This only works when you're in the camera mode. If you're in riding mode, well, it will work in spotlight mode too. But if you're in riding mode, because you hit R1 and it freezes time, so once time's frozen, then I had that R1 button that I could use to jump back and forth between this menu really quickly, because otherwise, like I'm using pretty much all the buttons that are available most of the time. So now we're in camera mode in the same way as in spotlight mode. I can hit L3 and I'm in the secondary camera mode here. And what this does is I can actually now control the focus point of the camera, because the camera's focused on the target. That's how it rotates around and always stays aimed at the rider. So it's actually not aimed at the rider, it's aimed at this thing. And in the secondary camera mode, you can move it around. And then the arrows light up based on the way that you're moving it, because sometimes, depending on what orientation your camera is, this might be really weird. So like, I'm like, okay, now I'm pushing left and it's going right. You can either just figure it out, or with the left stick, you can rotate it to get it going the way that you want it to be. And now the buttons are working right. So that's one of the kind of complicated things that I had to do, just because I couldn't get it to really work the way that would be ideal to do that. and then L3 goes back to the rotate camera. You can see I can rotate around here, but I'm rotating around that focus point, not around the rider anymore. You can zoom in and zoom out, what's called the field of view setting on the camera. You know, so you can get really wide, you can get really close. I personally, I like to zoom in because then like the stuff in the background is bigger. It's kind of cool, but it's also sometimes it's sweet. You can zoom out and then actually move the camera in. And I gotta turn that depth of field off because it's focused on the focus point, not on the rider. Move in and get different shots here. So that's basically it. That was probably a really fast and poor explanation of how this thing works. But that's it. So if you're on PlayStation, check it out. Take some selfies. Tag me on Twitter. If you're not on PlayStation, I'm going to see about maybe cross-platforming this. But it's probably going to take our guy a lot of work to do that. And I think that time might be better spent, you know, doing more custom tracks by you guys for everybody to play than spending a few days working on this. Get shot with the laser. There it is, Selfie Simulator. If you got any questions, now's the time. My phone's going off. I'm gonna go check it. Alright, so I'm not going to just sit here and play the Selfie Simulator because honestly it's probably pretty boring to watch. I was running out of complexity, but I like these ramps because you can really launch off the end here if you hit it right, and you can also wreck really nicely. But I ran out of complexity. I couldn't connect those. Thanks, man. Thanks, Alex and Saudi. Glad you like it. But yeah, so I kind of cheated on this one, like, and had these ramps just appear in the air when you jump here. Oh no. Yeah. Oh man, it's too fun to hurt that guy. It's not right. It's not right at all. So, and then you can see up in the corner there it says Intel, and that's basically the score, and that all that is the number of times that you freeze time, basically. So it's the number of selfies that you take, and it's scored. So the more you take, the better, and the more time you spend in the selfie simulator, the better. If for some reason you want to climb the leaderboards on a track that's really not about competition. But yeah, so when you're done, you can just go to the main menu. Rajado, what's up? You can hit quit, and it ends it for you. I beat Calzone. Yeah, what up now, Calzone? There's no competition here, though. Of course, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because I like my own stuff. But still, only a bronze medal. Oh, one more selfie and I would have gotten the silver. Oh well. Wonder if we can watch any replays on this. I haven't even considered replays. Like Calzone saw the. Oh, why is that not working? What's happened? Did I get disconnected? No. Okay, let's see what Calzone did. There it goes. All right. Yo, Musa, what's up? See, and this would be like a perfect situation where you move that focus point so you see more of the bike that was like above the guy. What's up with his hand? He's like getting ready to catch something inversely. Who knows what that's about? Oh, like right in the moon. That's dope. Oh, nice one, Calzone. There you go. Calzone took a selfie. Good stuff. All right, get out of there.